When it comes to your music, you should be the one in control. Hello there, my name is eluukkanen, aka Eluukkanen, and this is Composer Talk. Here we talk about things that interest us, composers, and perhaps you as freelancers as well, because this very topic we're going to discuss about is very, very vital, and something that saddens me to my heart, because even though you have to be very talented, you have to be very, very talented to stand out in the crowd whenever you do any type of art. The thing is, if you do not keep the control with you, then you're going to lose the art. You are not going to be the one who makes the most out of it, and you are going to be just lied to, and you are going to be finding yourself to a very sad spot I don't want you to go in. And let me tell you examples. This is not from music industry, but this story from creators of RuneScape very much saddens me. So, creator of RuneScape, Andrew Gower. I saw the documentary of 15 years of RuneScape a while back, and this story, which is not directly said in the whole documentary, very much saddens me. Basically, this guy developed, made, and had the idea of RuneScape, this MMO where people just go around, do fantasy stuff and something like that. The guy seems very much passionate about, story creations, and seems like a genuine guy who interested in trying to make games and code and stuff like that. And it was like a dream come true for him and his brother to have a RuneScape ongoing and becoming this big phenomenon. And he was in the rule at some point, but then after a few years, him being the head of the whole company, he stepped down because he didn't want to be in the controlling spot, because it was, of course, when you are the leader of any big thing, it's going to be very much tiring for you. You want to have some own time, and sometimes it's just too much. So I can understand his decision, but it's still a very bad decision, because when he sold the rights for his leadership position, he was not able to any longer control the creation he did. And it's very saddening, because from that point, I'm not a big fan of that whole game series, but I was able to see that what happened when he lost his leadership position, because the whole game lost its soul. The creator after that became this very much money-oriented kind of a strategist guy, I would say. Of course, you could argue with that, but I have to tell you, it has changed the RuneScape. And I've seen this also with art and with music. I have seen artists, animators, who have, very personal friends of me and my family. We have, they made this very, very great, very, very lovely animation series in the beginning of 2000, and then they signed a contract where they lost the rights for that, and they were not able to even develop it further. They wanted to develop the story further, but the owner of the IP didn't want them to do so any longer. So they got a lot of financial difficulties after that, because they did not read the small print. This is a very classic case for anyone who is trying to just rely too much on people who do not have the creative soul to actually make something that is worthwhile, but they have the means to get things distributed. And that's very nasty. You have to find someone who is actually worth trusting. There are people who are, but I tell you, there are also people who want to just take your IP and just run away. That's what they do. That's what some of them do. And I don't want to scare you too much, because you can still be the one who runs the show. You can still be the one who makes the decisions, and you can be the one who makes the most money out of it. Because the thing is, even though if you don't sell your IP, even though you are not going to be just giving it away and getting nothing in return, you can have these kind of deals where you are still working for someone. You get something, but you don't get enough for you to actually make your living and actually, just continue your work forward. Of course, not everyone is a leader. Not everyone can just be the one who controls everything. But I tell you, if it actually gives you the most freedom. It has been a harsh kind of road for me, but I have taken this step for being the #1 guy who decides where the music goes, and it has given me a lot of freedom. And I've been able to experiment and do whatever I want with my music. Of course, the road has been much slower, because if you have big guys who have big money but no creative talent, they can still get you far. But are you going to willing to risk that you're going to lose what you have, or what you create? No. So I've had this kind of like very strict policy of not going to these contracts which just keep you down for many years for not doing. You're not able to do certain things, like some platforms give you exclusivity deals where you have to be like 2 years in them, and after that you can only go away. Don't sign into those if you are not getting a big huge return, because some services which offer these kind of deals, they are not giving you too much. You have to still work hard, and even it's still a risk to actually get enough money paid from the services like Audio Jungle and other ones. Jamendo is other one as well. It has exclusivity deal and stuff like that. I have to tell you, there's payoff from trying to make and have your music controlled by you. You get the 100% whenever you sell your music, whenever you get music be used by others. But it's a more difficult position. You have to market yourself much more. You have to go around trying to contact people. You have to be the boss. And it's a hard process. I would really want to show how it's done at some point, because it takes a lot of time, and there are some tricks perhaps which are not perhaps known by people. But whenever we go forward with this channel much further, I will be showing you tips and tricks how to get into your first projects as a composer, as a music creator. That is what we're going to do, because it's not as hard as you think. It's very sad to see people who have even been working for a longest of time for the music, but they are not able to reach and get to the music project because the whole approach is very different. It is very much a different case. So you have to keep the control. And how to keep that? Well, first, you have to control your creations. You are not just going to give things to people and accept them to give you big results. If there's a chance that for giving you IP, giving your songs, you get a big return, then there's a chance of actually being good to do that. But you have to wait the results, and you have to wait the opportunities, because sometimes there might be very people who look sound confident, and then you could trust them, but are you going to get what you want from that? You have to always wait. Do you get certain things out of the process what you do? Like, people won't see art creation as being very logistical. You have to think about certain things, but what I have to tell you, you have to be a little calculative, especially when you're working on your own. And I know some people just avoid that, but I tell you, if you want to be in control, you have to calculate some things. This does not mean you have to sell your soul to the demons or something like that for just being calculative and thinking for your own best interest. No, you just have to think far, and you have to sometimes face nasty difficulties. But that's just what you have to do. Sometimes you have to just write contract. Sometimes you have to accept that you are not going to get the big boost you want, because you want to actually keep the music on your hands instead of just giving it to big publishers. Because sometimes publishers can do big things, but nowadays when you have internet, you can actually reach bigger numbers without publishers, depending on your approach. Of course, it's a slow road, but it can still be done. So that's all about controlling your own music, keeping your music out of the hands of those who cannot create. Well, it's still a nasty process, I tell you. There's so many steps you have to take in order to do that. We're going to discuss about that in our lovely music channel, where we discuss about music, and I actually do music as well. So keep yourself updated by pressing the subscribe and bell icon to see my future videos, and also join the discussion in case you want to know more about keeping your rights on your own hands, shaping your own destiny and that sort of thing. Anyhow, whoever you are, I wish you a great day. See you later.